What we don't know scares us, and rightfully so. There are just things in this world that even if we witness, still eludes a direct explanation. Events which give us goosebumps, and at times disturb even our very soul and sanity. Here are the top 10 unexplainable videos that will give you chills.
Amazing!
Number 10. Revolving door slams on person. The following footage was supposedly taken from the old Dexia Tower, now named Rogier Tower, in Brussels, Belgium. The incident happened way back in 2006 and shows a man experiencing a bizarre accident that can only be described as mind-numbing. As you can see, the man was heading for the revolving door to exit the building when he is suddenly hit by the doors which slammed together. Shaken and possibly injured, the man tries to walk away from the shattered glass pile and heads towards what is presumably the reception desk. The prevailing theory suggests that a person, supposedly the approaching figure just outside the revolving door, pushed on the same side, causing the doors to collapse on itself. However, several statements made by a few people who were in the building around the time of the incident claim that it was due to a mechanical malfunction. The doors were supposed to fold together to make way during emergencies, but they somehow falsely activated, thus causing the accident. Either way, many remain skeptical because of just how forcefully the door slammed shut on the man. What's your take on this event? Was it a simple mechanical failure or something more deliberate and perhaps sinister? Number 9. The Cannock Chase Woman. The Cannock Chase Forest in England is a well-known site for those in search of nature. However, since the 19th century, the woodland area has been infamous for being a hotspot for many different unexplained sightings and incidents related to various creatures of known folklore. To this day, many people still claim to have witnessed unnatural events in the forest. Events that may have been what you are about to witness. The short recording starts with an expansive aerial view of the Cannock Chase Forest with a drone. A white and grayish figure is then spotted within the surrounding area. The owner of the drone, seemingly curious to this discovery, decided to look at what he found at a different angle. Here, the chilling view of what appeared to be a woman in a dress comes into the scene. There is no official documentation to the incident, unfortunately, but her presence was indeed quite peculiar. For one thing, sightings of the world-famous black-eyed children were also reported in the area, and the site was also where 3 young girls were brutally murdered in the 1960s. Is this woman related to such a long-forgotten grisly incident? What is she trying to do in these woodlands? Regardless of motive, the presence of a human-like figure on an otherwise unpopulated area brings up more eerie questions than sensible answers. Number 8. Disappearing Woman on the Bridge. The Colorado Street Bridge in Pasadena, California has had a long history of being a hotspot of death. During its construction in 1912, several people have been reported as killed in numerous accidents. Even after it was completed, more reports of death, particularly of people deliberately jumping off the bridge, has been recorded, thus earning it the ominous nickname Suicide Bridge. A YouTuber with the username KoraMK2 uploaded a video of him riding his motorbike at this very bridge during the night. What was supposed to be a regular recording of his hobby soon took a darker turn. Take a look. An image of what seems to be a woman suddenly appears at the side of the bridge. When he turned his head and camera around, the woman simply disappeared without a trace. Concerned, the group went back to check. They found nothing. Even stranger, there were no reports of suicide at the bridge afterwards, adding further mystery to the encounter. Based on the channel's typical content, it is quite unlikely that the video was made solely for the purposes of fabricating a paranormal situation. But what do you think? Number 7. Ghostly Japanese Girl. The Zashiki Warashi are spirit-like entities from Japanese folklore that are described as ghostly pranksters. That being said, these entities are also often said to bring good luck to whomever it manifests to. The owner of this very short footage claims that this might just be an actual visitation of such a spiritual entity. A phantasmal figure of a young girl appears, slowly approaching the other sleeping girl. The spirit-like entity then bows down to the girl and makes a sort of gesture. After a while, it then peacefully leaves the room. Knowing what a Zashiki Warashi is, the event may be interpreted as being happier than the rest of the previous entries on the list. However, just as how there is no direct proof of its authenticity, we also do not have any proof that the entity we see is actually a bringer of good luck. If not then, what was it? Perhaps it instead brought curse instead of fortune. Only the sleeping child will ever know. Number 6. Ghost leaves hotel room. This video was purportedly submitted by a security manager from one of the Wingate hotels in Illinois in 2003. According to available sources at the time, Room 209 received a number of complaints from nearby rooms. Incidents of screams, noises, and other unsettling sounds have been heard, usually accompanied afterward with a room in a very bad state of disarray. The video that you're about to watch is a recording of one of these incidents.
What's going on, John?
At the start, you can hear screams and the voice of the hotel security manager who guides one of his employees through the operation. Most chillingly, perhaps, is the appearance of what appears to be something coming straight out of the room as the man investigates inside. It is worth noting that by law, hotels and other similar establishments are prohibited from recording sound from surveillance equipment, so the screams would most likely be from a walkie-talkie, transmitted from the man's unit at the room to the other unit, where it could have been recorded. As for the apparition that left the room, we could never be certain. Was it a malevolent entity, or just a fuzzy hologram of digital trickery or a recording glitch? Number 5. Exploring an abandoned home. This video has been circulating among paranormal forums for well over a decade. It was first uploaded in YouTube in 2008. Unfortunately, the trail of information ends here. There is no confirmed source at the moment as to where the video actually came from, or who the original uploaders were. Nevertheless, the genuine reaction we see on the video makes it all the more chilling. At the start of the video, two teenagers visit what looks like an abandoned house in broad daylight. The two explore the rooms nonchalantly, in an almost jovial manner.
Let's go in the house.
That is, until the cameraman horribly realizes that the house was not completely unoccupied.
Holy dude! Oh my, go! I could have sworn I saw a person.
What is peculiar about the encounter is that the surrounding lighting and the timing of the events suggests that this was not digitally altered. The black figure seemed as real as it was. Was this a sort of prank to the two boys who trespassed on the property, or an actual entity that we are yet to identify? We may never know. Bonus fact, the boys may well have never realized, but there is actually another figure looming around here. Can you spot it? Number 4. Eastern State Penitentiary Ghost. The Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is popularly known as one of the most haunted sites in the entire world. Before, the prison used to be one of the biggest and most extensive in the country, sharing its own history of tragedy, suffering, and death. This very old footage of the abandoned penitentiary in 2006 may well have been a reminder of death, as revealed by its long-lost quarters. Right at the beginning of this old video, you can already see a black figure loom a bit closer towards the camera, darting backward in the opposite direction as soon as it appears. By today's standards, the authenticity of this so-called Reaper would most likely be dubious at best, but it still does raise a few unexplained eerie questions. Was it an actual person? If so, why does it move unnaturally relative to the dust particles in the background? If it was edited, then how can a video as old as this have access to such editing quality? Lastly, if it was not the Reaper or a caped person, then what was it? Number 3. Contacting aliens on Skype? A YouTuber named Cagnet was in the middle of a Skype conversation with a friend in 2012. One of the cameras that are connected to the chat session was supposed to be turned off and inactive. While things seemed pretty normal, the camera suddenly turned on in the middle of their conversation and showed something very eerie. Take a look. Right in the middle of their conversation, the supposedly turned off webcam turned on to reveal what seemed like the face of a stereotypical gray alien. This continued for a number of seconds until the camera turned off again. The uploader swears by the fact that the camera was never deliberately touched or tampered with during the entire chat session. He also claims that even if it was a hoax, it was not done on his side. In an update to the incident, he also revealed that following the chat incident, he has been receiving weird calls from an unidentified female. What do you think? Was it an actual alien, a hacking prankster, or was it something that was fabricated by the uploader after all? Number 2. Sewage monsters. A supposed report about a UK water company had submitted video footage detailing its accounts about something that operatives have encountered in the sewers. While this may be highly akin to similar rumored sightings of stray animals underground, it is undeniably more chilling than what has been initially reported. Take a look at these two clips. You can clearly see something leap out of the foreground right at the beginning of the video. In the second recording, a scary-looking, almost humanoid creature with rather bright eyes is seen at the very edge of the visible tunnelway, peeking a bit, and then revealing more of itself later on. There were no explanations as to what exactly the operatives have found. However, the report has stated that the water company is currently seeking further help to investigate the matter. If these indeed are lost animals in the sewers and not some mid-springtime prank, then prompt action is required for a proper rescue. If you made it this far, I'm going to bet you enjoyed this video, so why not subscribe? We upload amazing, fact-filled list videos daily. Also, make sure to click that bell icon to stay updated, or you'll regret missing out on some amazing knowledge that could have filled your brain. Now let's get back to it. Number 1. Mysterious ooze in China. These images are screenshots captured from a video shot in Nanjing, China in 2013. It showed weird foamy substance that suddenly started oozing out from the middle of the street. The event was witnessed by many bystanders, and the authorities soon rushed to the scene to deal with what was slowly turning into a major traffic obstruction. This foul-smelling ooze, which reportedly grew with a radius of 150 feet and was at least a foot thick, was made of a substance or a group of substances which elude investigators to this day. The initial theory was that being that it was China, the ooze was a combination of unregulated chemical byproducts mixed with sewage water. Other, more grounded theories suggested industry-specific substances, such as soil-softening foams used by the Nanjing subway construction department. There are also more sinister, yet eerily plausible speculations about its origin, such as that of a huge waste dump of blood-mixed hydrogen peroxide, possibly discarded from some medical waste management facility. Regardless of its true nature, the ooze eventually seeped back into where it came from, possibly leaving the mystery of its occurrence unrevealed forever. So what is your verdict on these videos? Can they all be dismissed by our own rationale? Or are some of them mysterious enough that they circumvent our common notions of logic? Maybe you have your very own experiences with the utter unknown. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.